It truly depends on where is it that you're raising, right? So, for example, Silicon Valley is still super active and deploying capital, in very significant amounts. Um, that's more on the venture side, right? There's some very private equity groups that are exceedingly active, depending upon which vertical it is. So it varies on a case by case basis. Now, if we take all things equal, so to speak, right? Money can only sit in the sidelines for so long because whether you're managing a private equity fund or a VC fund, there is a certain number of investments that you do need to make to be able to keep up with the timeline and projections that you have promised to your investors, right? So maybe I can take it slow if there's a lot of uncertainty out there, but eventually the pressure builds up on timing and you need to start writing checks, right?
So basically, like if a VC firm raised $100,000, $100 million for someone, and within 5 years there's still no investment, no money. Whoever they got money from, they don't want the $100 million back. They want the 100 million times like whatever it is, right?
So can you repeat the example?
So like a VC firm raises $100 million from someone else, right?
Yeah.
5 years passes, they have made no investments. There's no money invested, right? Whoever getting the money, they don't want $100 million back. They want $100 million times.
Well, they want the $100 million to be at work,
Yeah,
not sitting
yeah.
on the side
They
doing
want more
nothing.
than interest coming back.
Exactly, right? So if someone gives you $100 million to go and invest, they're expecting one that you're gonna give them a better return than if they put it on treasury bills, right? But two, that you have that money working, right? Like doing something and meeting the projections and the plan that you proposed, right? Not just keeping it there without doing anything. So at one point you need to start investing.
Most VC firms, they invest like 10 years out, right? I always said like a VC firm will invest in 10 startups and hopefully one hits a home run, a unicorn, right? And they balance it out past 10 years or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. However, the success rate of VC funds is not amazing. I don't have all of the numbers on top of my head, right? But a lot of VC funds, they tend to return less than the amount that you invested into the VC fund.
Yeah. And can anyone start a VC fund? Is it like getting a law degree? You have to go to school and get some kind of certification. Just anyone with money can start one.
That's the key is anyone with money and the right knowledge to manage it and run it and find the right investments, etc. Yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty much it.
And you sort of run a VC fund, don't you? The Guardian Capital.
Well, Garden Capital is a small, tiny private equity firm. We are part of a VC fund in biotech, which is also a very small VC fund. But as an example, talking about the pressure of investing, right? Like we are behind schedule in writing checks, very frankly, right? So right now we need to increase the number of companies that we're looking and the number of companies that we invest in.
And so when you say small fund, it's like 10 million, 20 million.
For the biotech VC funds, I think we have left to invest about 3 point something.
And like, and do you like a certain number of investments per year, or does this you just play it by ear every year, depending on who comes across your table?
That's a great question. So we do have a plan of how many checks and which sizes each needs to be written every year. But then things change and things happen. And in our case, right now we are behind in where we should be.
And so, how does that company like get in front of you? Right? Is like there's word of mouth referrals, or like you have some kind of marketing plan, like some kind of buyer? Do you have like a I don't know, reach out to different biotech companies? How does that work?
That is to find companies that
Mm.
where to invest?
Yeah.
Um, Mostly a good referral network is very important, right? So different types of professionals that are within the industry that you're targeting that can say, hey, Jason, look, this is a very cool project. You probably should look at it for your VC fund, right? So that could be anywhere from experts in biotech to some other people who have also biotech VC funds, right, in our particular case. But people that can introduce you to cool projects. And then you always get the ones that come knocking on your door, right? That you also are supposed to look at.
So when a founder or founder team reach out to you, what sort of things like make you say yes or make you say no? My question I know is more detailed than this, but
Yeah, I mean, there's a great deal of things that you should be looking at. In our particular case, for the biotech VC fund, what we care is about companies that are scalable, companies that are mostly software based within that particular industry, that they have a big enough addressable market, that they have, or perhaps the most important is that they have a rock star team, right? And that they have some sort of track record of being successful at doing what they do.
so biotech's kind of vague. Like is it like genetic splicing that you're looking at, or like just like how far advanced are you looking for these companies to be?
It literally could be anything as long as those criteria that we have mentioned before, is there, right? Um, but just to give you an example, it could be as simple as a company that provides software to hospitals for a particular procedure, and that they have some significant hospitals already using their software, a great team in place, they're constantly innovating and driving the product forward. That would be an example that would qualify for something that we would look at.
So why biotech? That's something like you just have expertise in, or like do you? I'm sure you didn't just randomly pick biotech, but why biotech versus all the other things you could invest in?
Well, we sort of got involved into that one, and it's a very nice and interesting industry. My expertise is not necessarily biotech as such. My expertise in this particular endeavor relies on being a part of the investment committee, asking tough questions, making sure that the due diligence has been done, properly, try to poke holes, and also, try to see what are good opportunities that we should be looking at.
So let's say suppose someone that's like really known to you, like when you're like someone you've gone to before for like referrals, recommends some company to you, right? And they're like a very good referral, right? This guy's referred people to you before; they've always worked out. From the time of the introduction, how long does the process take for you to say like when they get funded? It's like pretty quick process. Is it drawn out?
Ideally, for a very well working fund, it should be a month or less for early stages. So either seed or pre-seed, that ideally would be the timeline. In our particular case, because we have in the mandate a lot of fiduciary duties, our process is much slower. So assuming that we do everything properly, currently we see that about 2 months.
So let's suppose a company that startups out there, and they have to decide between getting funded by you or another fund, right? Why should they pick you? What else besides money do you provide to your founders?
That's an excellent question. So we try to provide as much value as we can, whether it's beyond advising, which hopefully we do a good job at that, but also help them expand market share and help them open doors. I think that's important.
And of course, don't tell the details, but any like companies right now you're looking at like either the vested like any like companies on your table right now that you're like looking at right now.
Yeah, I mean, the due diligence team is currently looking at a few. They only one out of the current ones that is being put has made it to investment committee, so that's the only one that I know of as of now.
And y'all invest in a pre-seed, seed, like what round do y'all invest in?
Mostly presidency.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's like so risky, right? At pre-seed, because especially biotech, like they'll probably have this somebody probably this grand plan, but like, can they really prove it? Like, probably not, right? So I think like really have to like the founder has to really be like you said a rock star, right?
Yes. Yes. Biotech in particular is very very risky.
So again, don't tell the details you can, but is there any like startups you invest in already? Like man, this is the future of biotech. Like this is one's gonna make it. This I really feel good about this one.
Um, Ideally, I would say I feel good about all of the ones that we have invested into.
I mean, obviously, yeah, yeah.
um, but the reality of it is, there's always one or two that they don't go that well, right? And if we go by the average of numbers, what you would expect is that five at the very least out of 10 investments that you make, at least five will completely disappear. A couple maybe would break even, a couple maybe would do good, and like you said before, one out of the 10 would make it so great that you will forget about